Hey Steve,
Yeah.
you know what I've been watching a lot of?
Uh,
Red Letter Media.
I keep hearing a lot about them. I should probably try it. They're movie reviewers, right?
Yeah, and they my favorite so I don't know how I got onto them, but I remember Dan and Aaron talking about them, and I was like, and I finally looked them up because some of my favorite YouTubers talk about them as well, and they were talking mad. They were talking about mad crap. Like they were really shitting on like the Force Awakens and Star Wars, and I was like, all right, I gotta watch this and see what this is about. I watched it and I was not
Who
this
Red Letter or the Game Grumps?
Red Letter. Um, they were really talking smack about the Last Jedi because like I hate the Last Jedi and
Oh, you do?
oh yeah it's trash in every aspect.
I liked half of it, and I didn't like the Finn and Rose stuff. Like I thought everything else was except for the final battle was like definitely a bit cliche and just kind of boring. But like um, the stuff with Ray's pursuit into the dark side and like making talking about like just undoing all the previous Jedi stuff. Like I love that stuff. That was great.
Yeah, I'm completely like opposite of that. Like I hate all that. I think it's all crap. The way they treat the franchise, the way they treated Luke Skywalker, like I just it just cringes me. Like I just can't do it.
It made
So
sense for the character for me. Like Luke didn't just fail big time in the sense that Kylo Ren went to the dark side, but also kind of reaction to something I really liked. Um, and like not in the sense of like getting rid of the Jedi's traditions, in the sense that like all of it was crappy or anything, but because I mean the prequels make it very clear that the problem, the reason why Darth Sidious was able to rise to power was because the Jedi's failing to set as his genetics faded. And in the Clone Wars TV show, like my favorite character in the entire franchise is because of her journeys and realizing the faults of the Jedi and not just leaving the Order, but eventually becoming a great Jedi herself. So I feel like that's like where the series was trying to go to begin with, even before George Lucas gave up the reins. That like trying to show like the Jedi aren't like completely in the wrong, but they did mess up a lot. So trying to make something new out of the Jedi Order was probably the best call, in my opinion.
yeah, but the fact that it doesn't still exempt the way they treated Luke Skywalker, like Luke is the hero in the whole entire like series, and like his whole character arc, and even the whole like not only just his character arc, but the fact of like how like Luke and the whole entire franchise revolves around Anakin. Like there was plot holes everywhere. Like I mean everywhere, to the point that the whole entire story, like even the Last Jedi and the whole entire like Disney trilogy makes zero sense because now they undid like Luke's sacrifice, Anakin's sacrifice. It does away with um, like Anakin's legacy. It does away with like Luke's legacy, and to me that was like just defacing, um, like the character of men, the character of being a hero, the character of of like what it means to be a Jedi, what it means to like even be a fan of Star Wars, and that aspect of like Jedi are supposed to be like these like wise people. They're not perfect, but like they're wise, and like they do their best to do what's right. And like Luke is definitely the epitome of like the unsung hero, and they make him into this um, like they completely dehumanize him. They shame him and like turn him into like just a sham and into like a piece of shit. And I couldn't stand that. And on top of that, they made like they completely ruined like the Force and like how the Force works and like how like the Force works. And like Rey is like she's like she's not even human. She's like I don't even know what she is. Like she's a Mary Sue. Like she has no conflict. She has no character building. All she does is cry all the time. And then when she's not crying, she's always telling everybody else that they're pieces of shit. And so like she's telling them like, oh well, I can do this. I can do this. And like she never has any problems, no challenges. She never has a problem with anything, and she could do anything and everything, and she does it perfect. And I hated that because there was no threat to Rey, and I thought that was just bullshit because the whole point of her going to Luke's planet and getting help from Luke was like he was supposed to train her, and like they didn't even do that. Like they just completely like got rid of Luke, and like he was useless. Like she shouldn't even had to have talked to him. Like if she's so great and she could learn the Force on her own, she never needed Luke. She never needed to go talk to him. She never like needed his help. She never needed to be trained in the Force because she already knew everything. And that's another thing that pissed me off. It was like there was no threat, and the only interesting character in the whole entire series to me was Kylo Ren or Finn, and like they didn't even do anything with them. They just like Finn was just running around screaming out Rey's name. He was always getting in trouble. He was a goofball, and like Rose Tico, whatever her dumb name is, like that whole kissing scene. Like I totally agree with you on that. Like oh
you're talking about this. This is how we win, right?
yeah, that bullshit. And like
literally as the empire's like exploding into their base in the background, she's like, "This is how we win by saving the things we love, sacrificing them." Like literally, stopped them from getting into the cave.
Exactly. Like I don't.
They're losing because she stopped them.
Exactly. And like she says the most cringiest line. She's like, yeah, like you said, like this is how we win by love. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like you never kissed a man in your life. Like shut up. Like it was so insulting, like to my intelligence. Dude, I almost walked out of the theater when that crap happened. I was so pissed because it made no sense and it was so dumb. And like the whole fact of like Luke, like he overdoses on the Force. Like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my gosh, that movie. These movies, like the Disney trilogy, just like ruined everything, and I just can't.
I didn't get the impression that he overdosed on the Force. The impression that I got was that Luke was getting old and he used glasses as strength.
Nope.
To protect himself in the Force that way.
Nope. He overdosed. He overdosed on the Force, man. He had too much. He was like he was like too high on cocaine, man. He just couldn't handle it.
Was that an official statement from one of the like writer or director or whatever?
No. It's just a little joke from like um, Red Letter Media and other guy like other YouTubers.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I mean, if that's their opinion, then I can't say unless that's like the official. Look, obviously, the writer and director wouldn't do that in all of their respect.
No.
If something if that's an official statement, I'm like, yeah, but if that's just an interpretation, my interpretation, last of his string.
That's what they want. That's like the simplest result, right? And that's what they want you to think. But when you think about it, it was like that's the dumbest thing you can like come up with. Like it's just sloppy writing. Like they could have had him if all right, if he was going to use the rest of his strength, why didn't he just like destroy the AT-ATs or like with the force powers, or why didn't he go there in person and fight Kylo Ren by himself and then die for the greater good? Like this is Luke Skywalker we're talking about. Like he's the epitome of the underdog, and he should have been fighting Kylo Ren, or he should have like redeemed himself, and he never did that. He turned into a hologram, and then he died because of it, which makes no sense. Like I don't know.
I believe it was because the planet was too far away to get there.
Well, he could have just jumped in the X fighter uh, with um, with Ray Palpatine, and he could have just he could have jumped with her. And that's another thing too.
He could have, but was he willing to fight at that time, or was he just sending her off? Because if he wasn't willing to fight at the time, then that would make sense.
That's another bad plot hole and terrible excuse for terrible sloppy writing and script writing. Is like Luke went out of his way to save his dad from from Emperor Palpatine, and you're telling me that the universe is in jeopardy again, but this time it's from his nephew, and he doesn't go and stop him because that was literally like his problem and he never fixed it. But a problem that wasn't his was that his dad was evil, and so he refuses to help his nephew, but he's willing to help his father. Like I just think that's inconsistent. Like it was inconsistent that they would do that, and it's just there's just so many plot holes to the story, and like the fact that like Rey is a clone of Palpatine or is related to the Palpatines is stupid as well, because now she's gonna steal the name of the Skywalkers, and she's gonna identify as a Skywalker when in actuality she's not a Skywalker. She's a villain. She's related to a villain. Like so Emperor Palpatine from Episode 1 all the way up until the Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine wins because his bloodline continues to move on. Like that is like the worst like moral story you could come up with. Like that's like saying like Satan like wins in the end. Like it's just it's such shitty writing. I can't even like my brain can't even register it because it's so bad. Like a 5-year-old could write a better story. Like you could write a better story being half conscious in a coma. Like it's just terrible. I'm sorry. Go on. I know that's not your opinion, but it's just so cringy to me.
Well, it's not part of my. What I was just talking about was The Last Jedi. Like, here's my general stance on the trilogy. I think The Force Awakens is not great, not bad. It could have been better if it didn't copy Rey was never.
Yes.
But the stuff surrounding and the Jedi stuff, like Jedi lore in the Last Jedi, I legitimately liked and I legitimately thought had an interesting potential. And I really did think that was good stuff. The majority of the Last Jedi, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker has absolutely
True.
and overall things that it becomes a terrible that
Yes.
changing directors inherently is not a bad idea. Like they wanted to give but the reason it didn't work is because they didn't have a game plan to begin with. Like give directors the screenwriters their general reign to tell the story they want to tell, but make sure you have ahead of time an outline that everyone knows
Yes.
where the story is generally going, and then let them flesh it out that way.
Yes.
So largely the entire series is trash because of those things, and because of that we had Rey, who was never an interesting protagonist. In my personal opinion, I feel like the old characters returning, like Luke, Leia, and Han, were done well. I understand that people were upset where they went, but I feel like they explained it well enough within the movies what events made them turn into that. Like Han and Leia got together at the end of the original trilogy, and I could see them potentially writing it so that their marriage worked out. But at the same time, despite the fact that they loved each other by the end of the trilogy, I feel like Han and Leia were different enough people that it makes sense, even so, that they had a rough marriage. But the new characters, Finn and Kylo Ren specifically, had great potential. Didn't do anything great with them at all.
Yeah.
And spent way too much time retconning important story details within its own set of films.
Yeah.
To the point where they weren't able to do anything interesting
Yeah.
with any of the stories. It was constantly trying to set up the next film. So then when we got to the end of the film, they had Palpatine on there, and it was literally represented in the flesh by him being on the stick and
Yeah.
killing characters.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better metaphor than a dead husk of Palpatine barely moving on a crane being suspended in air for the
Seriously, with strobe lights. Oh.
Yeah.
It was. Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, and
then
like
I
I like.
so far as to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna piggyback on what you said. Like, I do like that they kind of expanded on like the downfall of the Jedi and like how the Jedi weren't always like wise, you know what I mean, or smart in their actions, and they like there was a huge consequence for their mishaps and their stupidity, and and like um and that like Jedi's became like just like folktale, you know what I mean, or like they not everyone knows what a Jedi is, or like it's like fairy tales, and then you had like a remnant of that, but like I see what you're saying there, like I like that too, like that they were willing to like change things up with the Jedi and make them into like these like old like dated like wizards or whatever.
Yeah. Well, because the prequel trilogy made it very clear that the reason the Jedi failed was because they were too rigid.
Yeah.
Not because they were completely evil or just completely wrong. They were just too rigid to be able to evolve with the times.
Yeah.
So I felt like the stuff with the Last Jedi, even in the scene where like Yoda's Force Ghost is like telling them to burn the books and everything. I didn't interpret that as like a slap in the face to all of Jedi history and culture, but him being like, yeah, should like make something new out of this anyway. So why even, we don't need this. I feel like that's why I liked how Luke's character turned out. I also preferred him to have turned out differently, but I felt like it still works because he tried to restore the Jedi Order by following largely the old ways, and that's what caused him to go down the road of not just pushing Kylo Ren or Ben Solo away, but accidentally causing him to completely turn to the dark side and then kind of wallowing in guilt and self-pity
Right.
because of it.
Right.
I won't disagree with people that think it should have been different, and I think that it probably would have been more interesting if it had been different, but I still think that they had a realistic character arc for him in that direction. But largely, the trilogy as a whole is crap. I've heard rumors spinning around that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau might be planning to completely redo the trilogy, or at least retcon it. And even though I think it's probably unlikely, I'm totally on board if that happens.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be hopeful, especially what they did with the Mandalorian and having Luke appear. It's like it's better than the trilogy. Anything's better
awesome,
than the trilogy.
Honestly, I got super excited for Ahsoka and Bo-Katan. That was a fangirl moment for me.
I bet.
But yeah, I mean, either way, so long as they put the series, like the franchise, into the hands of people like them going forward, I think we'll be able to get over the bump of the new trilogy. But at the same time, I think it might actually benefit the story if we did actually retcon everything.
I hope so. I hope they do it because that trilogy ruined everything, man. That thing was just a trash heap, and it was a spit in the face of like all the fans. I feel I'm very adamant about that, and I don't.
Like a lot of people hated the prequel trilogy too, and I even now going back and watching them a couple years ago, they're certainly not perfect movies, and the dialogue in various places could have definitely been better. But most of the biggest criticisms that I've heard over the years from people concerning the prequel trilogy were the midichlorians and the focus on the political stuff. But I feel like that's not just what sets the prequels apart, but actually what as a whole evolved the franchise to greater heights.
Yeah.
I feel like now that it's had time to settle in, and both of those things, the political side of Star Wars, the high-profile like stuff like midichlorians, because I know people have said it's like, oh, it's not about training anymore, it's about how much life lessons you got, pretty much. But like as they fleshed out the midichlorians, it's like it's not inherently telling you how powerful someone is. You can still train, and that experience and that skill outclasses the however many midichlorians you have to be a better force user.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the midichlorians were surprisingly realistic because apparently there's something similar to in real life that people can be born with that determines whether you're more physically adept to athleticism or not. So that's what George Lucas was going for with that. So I personally feel like those details from the prequels that people hated originally set in pretty well.
Yeah.
But even though the new trilogy only just came out a couple years ago, just finished a couple years ago, I feel like there's nothing that's going to like really sit well with people. Like I don't think time is going to make it better.
I agree.
I think they're going to just stay bad movies. So if that's the case, if they're just going to stay bad movies, then we should give them the honest as possible. We should redo them.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of people are kind of exhausted. But
yeah, and that's true. Like I don't think it should be super easy.
yeah.
Because a lot of people have lost faith in the franchise. And even though like, series well right now, I still think it was a bad call for them to make 10 different shows all at once.
Agreed. That
Like they could all be amazing, but I think that even if they're all great, just as great,
Yeah, it's
like maybe at most four, maybe at most four of the shows. I feel like at most they should Acolyte.
right. Like, just do like a small handful and then just leave it at that. Don't like
Or like
overdo
slowly
it.
expand.
Yeah.
Because all those, at least in my opinion, those four shows have the tendency to have the most potential. Bad Batch is a spin-off continuation of the Clone Wars, which was a great TV show. And anything with Ahsoka's name on it, I'm game. The Obi-Wan thing just inherently is a good idea. And I did a little bit of research into what Acolyte was, and based on what I've seen from Legends lore, I think they can do something pretty interesting with that.
Yeah.
At some point, whether it's a movie or whether it's
Is that the Okada lady?
I
Did she tell you how this is supposed to happen?
Abeloth.
Avalon?
You don't know what Abeloth is?
Nope.
Did you see the Clone Wars series of episodes that had the father, the son, and the daughter?
We're gonna give that murdering fuck what he deserves.
No.
I'll tell you more inside.
Okay,
Get it?
well,
You're driving.
I think it's like season 4 or season 5, something like that. There's a period where Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka are on to a ship after a mission, and
You're
accidentally
supposed to pass down this street. We just sit tight till they show up.
and they arrive on this strange planet that is not what they should do.
Whoa. Why?
Hour by hour basis, pretty much. And it's populated by 3 beings.
Plan sounds
called
half
the Father, the Daughter,
Honestly,
and the Son.
don't like it.
The Father
What's that
is
supposed
the
to
embodiment of the
First
Force
up,
in
don't
balance.
execute in public.
The Daughter is
Don't
the
need an
embodiment
audience.
of the
Second,
Force.
they could get away.
The dark side of the Force.
Get it? I
And
spent my life
they-
savings on this. That's them.
and
Step on it.
because they, being the embodiments of the Force, were aware of their being children. And the Father is on the verge of dying. And if he dies, then the Daughter and the
Stay
Son
on him. Don't let him get
So,
away.
once Anakin takes his place, life, and they try to leave, but the Son has to try to force him to stay.
Watch out.
And through various things, they accidentally, the Son specifically accidentally kills the daughter.
Oh.
And then the Father and Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka team up to kill the Son. And when both of them die, the Father's like, well, I don't really have anything to
Can't
live for
lose
right
him.
now anyway. I'm going to die soon, so they just kill him off.
Damn.
That's all the story does for the Clone Wars. But in Star Wars Legends canon, that was there was the fourth called the Mother, who was originally a old woman who accidentally stumbled across their planet of Mortis and became their servant. But the father, son, and daughter loved her so much that they basically deemed her the mother.
Oh wow.
But eventually she became so concerned about growing old and dying and not being able to spend eternity with them that she used spots on Mortis that were imbued with the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force to try to gain immortality. But
Get the fuck out. You're useless.
immortal nature and abilities and power, she became a Lovecraftian creature of doom. And the father, son, and daughter sealed her on a planet that was surrounded by a complete blockade of black holes, so she could never escape.
Damn.
But in Legends lore, as Force-sensitive space explorers got close to her domain, Lovecraftian shenanigans ensue. A lot of people die. Jedi and Sith team up to kill him once and for all.
Yeah. Quite the story.
Yeah. So, if they ever just decide to do a story like that, I probably spoil like 75% of the plot. But that's the story of Babylon. I'd love to see that put to film.
Yeah. I can see why. Am I always going to be stuck in the air?
At least when out of the doing something wrong. He's also a really cool part of Legend.
Thrawn? Yeah, he's also in the books. He's got his own book series. Apparently, he's
Well, that's
really
pretty
awesome.
Not considered canon, but they brought him in as a canon character.
Yep. So, yeah, I think they're building up to that. And if you pay attention to whatever his name is, Moff Gideon, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you pay attention to his actions, he's very reminiscent of you can tell like he's been hanging out with Admiral Thrawn. Because like if you know anything about Thrawn, at least from the books, how methodical he is and stuff like that. I don't know if he's like that in the cartoon, but he's very methodical in the books and very precise.
When he was in Star Wars Rebels, he was very cultured but ruthless, and very honorable, and had a great emphasis on studying the planet's art and culture to try to use that in battle strategies.
My info is I'm supposed to off someone. No, not just anyone.
I don't know if that
Joshua
matches his
Seaman,
portrayal.
fucking murderer. Tell you more inside. Get in. You're driving.
He's walking on air. What is this voodoo? You do voodoo. What do you do?
You're supposed to bust down
You're
doors.
levitating.
You just sit tight till we show up. I will see the light in that motherfucker's eyes. Whoa, why? So the snow's over here and we're done.
So if you haven't seen Throne and Rebels, I imagine you
Plan
probably
sounds half-baked. Honestly, don't like it. What's that supposed to mean? First up, don't execute in public. Don't need an audience. Second, they could get away. I don't get it. I spent my life savings on this.
Probably watched it on YouTube or something.
Step on it.
Yeah, it's or even Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul.
Stay on him. Don't let him get away. Watch out!
Well, I hope after crashing for like what I was, don't think I'm praised half of the Last Jedi.
You know what? You can like what you like, and you could be wrong, and I'll be right, and that's all right. I kid. I'm joking. No, it's cool, man. Like, I respect that, and no, I appreciate your feedback too, and I appreciate you hearing me, and I definitely like am willing to hear you. So, yeah, it's I don't know. I just want Star Wars to be fun again, and I think
Let's go.
It is so long as you're not looking at the movies.
yeah, it's only fun if you enjoy Mandalorian and that's basically it. And oh yeah, and regular Star Wars. What the? Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Just like appeared in front of me. Yeah.
Speaking of good Star Wars, did you ever get around to playing the Jedi Fallen Order?
No. If I would have had money by Christmas, I would have bought it on sale. It was like $30, but uh, yep, didn't get it. So I want to. It looks good.
Any of the plot stuff?
What's that?
Have you just feel about any of the plot details?
Uh, no, no, not nothing's really spoiled for me on that. So thankfully.
I would tell you to play it either way.
Yeah, of course.
Fallen Order made me excited for Star Wars again. Like I genuinely
You just
got.
gotta wait.
Well, I wasn't depressed, but I got genuinely disappointed after watching Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah,
and then like maybe a year or a month later, I got my hands on Fallen Order, and I was like, I like Star Wars again, guys. It's okay.
yeah,
Huh?
good.
Wakako-san.
Is that the
I mean, I've
Apollo?
always liked Star Wars.
Tell me how this is supposed to happen.
I just don't like identity politics and stuff like that in my movies. And
Oh yeah, it's not like Rise of Skywalker made me hate the entire franchise, but like I forgot what made Star Wars special, and then I played Fallen Order. It's like
oh
I
yeah,
remember being a starry-eyed kid watching like New Hope for the first time.
right.
I will see the light in that motherfucker's eyes.
Whoa.
Watching The Mandalorian, like I always heard, like it brings the fun back and stuff like that. And I see now, like my buddy let me log into his account so I could watch Mandalorian, and
Unimportant.
I I'm enjoying it, and I'm like, this is Star Wars. Like this is good, clean, healthy fun, and it feels good.
I'd probably have to take a second watch of
Stay on him. Don't let him get away.
going off of what I I'm pretty sure the episode where they killed the crate dragon was my favorite.
I just watched that last night, and that was cool. Um, I like the actor that plays as the sheriff. I wish he would get more parts because I think he's a really good actor, and he's a good-looking guy, and I think he should get more parts. But
I recognize him.
he's he used to be on I think it was called Seventh Heaven, and he was like the teenager guy in that, and then he was in not John Carter. He was in the new World War II Call of Duty, and he was in a bunch of stuff. What else? Damn it. Get out of my way. Yeah, you can just look him up. Yeah, but he's in a bunch of stuff. I think he might have actually been Agent 47 in the Assassin movie, whatever it's called.
Stop the damn car! Fuck! Brake, I said! Brake! This is it. Let's go. Stay close. I'm gonna blow the motherfucker to bits myself. You fucking idiot! I'm gonna do it.
Come on. Damn police just appear out of nowhere. I'm tired. I'm gonna call it quits. I need to get some rest. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Almost 24 hours.
Almost? I didn't even really want to stay up all night and play Cyberpunk. I just went to play a round or two and then just go to bed. But it was fun talking to you. I'll be on tomorrow as well. Yeah, I just plan on just vegging out this weekend. I'm wiped out. This week was crazy busy, man. Like we were, my boss didn't come to work all week, and then Daryl didn't come to work all week, and we got hit with so many truckloads. Like I had to help that, had to help around in the warehouse and all this other stuff. I was like running around with my head cut off. It's pretty intense. Oh, and then I didn't get a chance to tell you this, but apparently there's a garage that I delivered to, and there's this like really, really cute girl that apparently likes me, and that was a nice little compliment. Everyone's like, you should get her number, man. And I was like, oh shoot, like I don't know what to do. And then I talked with her, and then it was like legit. Like she does like me, but I don't know. Like I panicked and I gave her my phone number, and she never messaged me. And I was like, I'm such an idiot. I shouldn't have done that, because if she really likes me, she should have given me her number, and I should have just chilled out, and just like let her make a move on me, not me on her, because like I don't really know her, so I don't know. I was kind of hard on myself this week, but I went to that stop like 3 times this week, and it was just awkward because she was there, and then, well, she was there twice and then not there, so, but I don't know, that was cool. That was a nice little perk for my week to kind of encourage me, so that was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff happens. Yeah. I've even had that kind of thing happen, even when I was just trying to talk casually to people. Not even any kind of romantic interest or pursuit. Just like apparently got too friendly and then don't want to talk.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, um, I don't know. I get really disappointed and frustrated with like people that I thought I was like cool with, and then they don't like get a hold of me. Like, I have a friend from YWAM. I got a hold of her and like she barely ever wants to talk to me. Um, and she's got like every excuse in the book not to talk to me. So like, I don't know. I stopped talking to her, and then there was another girl I was talking to, just like being friends, and yeah, I don't know, like she just got boring, and then there was another girl, like there is still, well, and then I made a new friend with a girl, and her name is Hope, and she's a sweetheart, man. Like I told her, I was like, man, if you lived close by, I would totally like take you out on a date, because she's so sweet and she loves God, and it's funny, like she's got like self confidence issues, like so she'll like message me and then she'll delete the message, so I can't read it, and then like she'll resend the message and then she'll delete it. So like I'll get like 10 messages from her, but then when I go to like open up the message, there's only one. Because she's like always like correcting herself, and just recently I told her, I was like, I don't care what you send. Like you're safe around me. Like I'm not gonna get offended if you just tell me what you think. Like I'm not gonna judge you for it. And she's like, oh okay. Like, but she's like unsure of herself all the time. So it was just funny, like to try to like you know like, to get that like reaction out of someone, and I don't know. It was interesting,
Yeah.
but she's a sweetheart.
I've never been like involved in a situation like that concerning like romantic interest, but I mean, I definitely used to be her in general. Just
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that's the thing
I
is,
used to act largely the same way.
yeah, um, because I used to be like that too as well, believe it or not, and um, so like it was kind of fun to like listen to her messages, and she didn't know what to say, and she kept saying and like, and I told her it's okay. That's part of like learning how to socialize and like communicating with a human being, and also not just that, but like also like learning how to be comfortable with yourself in a public setting, or in a setting where you can like socialize with someone. And so I was telling her like I'm willing to be like your test subject for that, so that you can you know um, so that like you can get used to like talking better, and 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 being yourself, and not having to like hold back and being like afraid that like I might judge you or something. So she appreciated that, and that's been a fun journey, like going down that road with someone and like living vicariously through her, and giving her like pointers and stuff. And another thing too is like she's also like she's really like she's trying to get to the point where like where you're at in your walk with God. Like she's now really getting like intimate with God. So like she'll like post stuff on Facebook, or she'll like message me and be like, "Did you know that like God loves us so much to the point that like all He ever does is think about us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Like it's pretty cool, isn't it?" And then like we'll talk about it, and she just gets all like excited because she's got someone to talk to about it, and it's really cool. And
Yeah, I know the feeling. Actually, it was just last week where a few weeks ago I was talking with a friend that I made through Bluesburg, Luke, and I was telling him how I God had revealed to me that that when it comes like because I've talked to him as well as a lot of other people about how we can actually 5, and he did believe me on that, and has been seeing that with me, but he's been struggling as well.